You ever scroll through your feed, see some video with millions of views, and just wonder, is there a formula? Like, could I just copy that and get the same results? Well, someone actually tried it. They ran this wild experiment to reverse engineer virality by becoming a perfect clone of a massive YouTuber. And let me tell you, what they found was not what anyone, especially them, expected.
So it all kicked off with this one wild idea. And when I say they decided to become someone else, I'm not being metaphorical. This was a literal mission. They threw their own style out the window to copy, piece by piece, a creator who was just an absolute viral machine. And really, the stakes couldn't have been higher. Is success just a blueprint you can follow, or is there something more to it?
All right, so let's get into it. Phase one of this whole thing was called the perfect clone. The target, a creator, we'll just call him Alex, who, get this, went from 0 to almost 850,000 subscribers in just 8 months. I mean, that's insane growth. And the goal here wasn't just to, make videos like Alex. The goal was to literally become him online. And look, we're not just talking about making similar content. This was a whole other level of obsession, a frame-by-frame, pixel-by-pixel replication. We're talking every single color, every cut, even every single pause. The mission was built around one simple burning question. If you make a perfect copy of a viral video, will it go viral too? It seems logical, right?
Okay, so what exactly was this magical viral formula? Well, to build a perfect clone, our creator had to basically become a detective. They put Alex's channel on the operating table, ready to dissect it piece by piece. It was time to map out the anatomy of a viral video.
And what they found was, well, it was shockingly mechanical. It turns out every single one of Alex's videos followed this exact 6-part structure. We're talking a cold open with a bold claim, a personal story, the method, the results. You see it here. It wasn't art. It was like a factory assembly line for cranking out viral hits, a predictable, repeatable machine. So the process started where every video starts, the thumbnail. And get this, our creators spent 4 hours on one single image. They were in Photoshop, literally using the color picker to get the exact hex codes for Alex's brand colors, finding the exact same font, and even matching the lighting and the precise angle of their face. The final result? Spooky. It was almost identical. Okay, so thumbnail's done. Next up, the script. Now, this is a really important detail. They didn't just copy the words. That'd be plagiarism. No, they copied the rhythm. They transcribed Alex's videos to create a structural blueprint. So, if Alex told a joke at the 30-second mark, so did they. If Alex asked a rhetorical question at minute and a half, you bet they did too. They were copying the very pulse of his storytelling. By day 4, this experiment was hitting peak obsession. We're in the editing suite now, and every single detail had to match. They actually calculated Alex's average time between cuts. It was 3.2 seconds, and they matched it. Every zoom, every sound effect, the same royalty-free music track, everything. The video that came out the other end was, honestly, it was an eerie, near-perfect clone. So, the moment of truth. The video is done. The thumbnail is a perfect clone. The script's rhythm is a clone. The editing is a clone. They even uploaded it at the exact time of day Alex always posts to hit that sweet spot. Everything was perfect. All they had to do was sit back, refresh the page, and watch the views pour in. Except this. This was the number after a full 24 hours. 347, not 1,000, just 347 views. I mean, think about it. After all those hours of obsessive, meticulous work to craft a perfect copy of a guaranteed viral hit, the result was a total, undeniable flop. And oh, it gets worse. To pour salt in the wound, the real Alex posted a new video on the exact same day. It had a super similar topic, a nearly identical thumbnail, and his video, it got 1.2 million views in the same 24 hours. So, what gives? How can two nearly identical videos have such wildly different results? Well, here's where the mystery really deepens. The metrics on the clone video were actually really good. A 41% click-through rate, 52% average view duration. For those of you who know, those are fantastic numbers. It means the people who did see it clicked it, and the people who clicked it kept watching. So the video itself was working, which makes the failure even weirder. Okay, and this is where we get to the real heart of the lesson. The failure wasn't about the content. The content was fine, it was great. The failure was about the context. This whole experiment uncovered this massive gap between what an algorithm is programmed to see and what a human audience actually feels. And it really all boils down to this one key idea: algorithmic trust. See, a platform's main goal isn't just to find one good video. Its goal is to get people to watch for as long as possible. So over time, it learns to trust certain channels that have a proven track record of keeping viewers hooked. Alex had spent months building up that trust. Our creator with a new channel, they had zero. And here's what that trust looks like in the real world. When a trusted channel like Alex posts, the platform blasts it out to say 40,000 people right away. That creates a huge wave of initial views, which tells the algorithm, hey, this one's a winner, push it more. But an untrusted channel? It might get a little push to maybe 200 people. It's just not enough to start that viral snowball effect, even if the video is a masterpiece. And this, right here, is the absolute core lesson of this whole thing. You can copy the content, you can copy the thumbnail, you can copy the editing style, but you can't copy the context. You can't clone the relationship that a creator has built with their audience over time. That history, that's the one thing that's impossible to fake. So the experiment didn't stop there. It went on for the full 7 days. And the results were just messy, all over the map. But something really fascinating started to happen. The videos that did the best, the ones that got a few thousand views instead of a few hundred, were the ones where the creator messed up, where they accidentally broke the formula, where a little bit of their own personality, their own humor, kind of leaked through. The audience could feel it. And that's what led to the single most important realization of this entire week. The real lesson wasn't about the algorithm. It was about the massive fundamental difference between just blindly copying someone and actually learning from them. Think about it this way. Copying someone is like trying to be someone else. It's basically a rigid template. It's exhausting and it's just not going to last. But learning from someone, that's totally different. That's like building an adaptable toolbox. You're taking their techniques and translating them for your voice, your style, and that is authentic, and it's something you can actually stick with. So after all this, what's the good news? Well, the experiment wasn't a failure, not really, because it showed us what parts of success are transferable. You absolutely can and should learn from someone's structure. You can learn principles of high-contrast thumbnail design. You can learn about fast-paced editing. The key is to take those techniques and apply them through the filter of your brand, your voice, and your energy. And that really brings us to the final and maybe a little uncomfortable truth of all this. You can master every technique in the book. You can have the perfect structure, the slickest editing, but if your authentic self isn't in there somewhere, it's just not going to connect. It becomes, at best, just competent noise. And the internet is already a very, very noisy place. So ultimately, this whole crazy experiment leaves us all with a really important question to ask ourselves. Are we building for a short-term algorithmic spike, or are we building for a long-term sustainable connection with real people? Chasing a formula might get you a quick hit, but building something authentic, that's how you create something that lasts. And really, in the long run, that's the only game worth playing.